The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Welcome everyone to another edition of Straight from the Paws. In case you've forgotten, this is my co-host, Beverly Andrade, the treasurer of Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for inviting me to the show today, Gail.
Always invited. So Beverly asked me today, what are we going to talk about? And I said to her, we're going to do a what is it called?
Nothing.
A Seinfeld show.
Seinfeld show.
Seinfeld show.
A show about nothing.
Except there's a lot to talk about. So we're going to do exactly
well, between
what
her and
Seinfeld
I,
did.
we never shut up, so.
Yes. So we have a lot to talk about and a lot of interesting things going on at the shelter. And I'm going to start off with, so that I can remember the acronym, we have been blessed to have YAY, and if you're not familiar with YAY, it's Youth Experiencing Autistic
Hope.
Hope. Thank you. And it's with an exclamation point. We've had some fine, all young women, I must say, come to the shelter, and we have a container at the beginning of our walking path for the dogs. And Beverly loves everything to be, I don't know.
Feng shui.
Feng shui, yes. She loves color and she loves changing things around. And the container was a bit of an eyesore, according to Beverly. And it was kind
Gray,
of. You know.
army, blah.
Right. So we were very fortunate to have got in touch with this group, and they're from Mass Hire, and we work with Mass Hire, so we were under their domain. We were able to get it designed, and it looks really nice. We're going to share some pictures today with you. And also, we were very fortunate that one of the young ladies that was there was our own Dr. Cindy Comstock's daughter, Abby. She's a junior or a senior, I'm not sure, at Durfee High School, and she was participating as well. So that was kind of nice for us, because it's always kind of, we call it a family affair, right, Bev?
It is, yes.
And do you like it?
I love it. I think what the students have done is amazing. I mean, we went from this army blah container, storage container. I mean,
right.
Who looks at storage containers? But its location is like right in the way. So we wanted to paint it. And it came out beautiful. We call it pop art.
It is.
It's got animals in it. It's got buildings in it. Yeah. And it's bright colors. So the container went from blah, gray, to these bright colors.
It did. And
really looks nice. We
also have two, well, we have, the second one hasn't come in, but we have two very dear volunteers that have passed away in the last year or so. And so we have one for Jan Kaczynski, and if anybody knows Jan, a bench, I'm going to say that.
Okay.
And we also have one for Del Dyer that passed this spring. We're having a bench made in her honor as well. Some of us from the shelter that were good friends with them have donated that, and we were able to purchase both of benches for them, so they're really nice. But we also have some wrought iron benches you might want to talk about, Beth.
Yeah, so we have a few on our dog walking trail. We placed a few wrought iron, I guess you would call them that, or aluminum, I don't know, black. Anyway, they look like black metal, whatever the metal is, I don't know. And we've had plaques put on them. We just had recent one from a gentleman that passed away. He was quite young, and the family put a plaque on one of the benches, and another person in memory of their little puppy, they put a plaque on the benches. So those little plaques, we only charge $500 for the plaques. They're brass, they're all engraved. This one has a heart on it, the other one had a dog paw on it. And those are in the walking trail. The two about Del and Jan Kaczynski, those two are wood benches. They look like wood.
They look like wood, but they're not, but they're made for the outdoors.
Right, and those are a lot more than the little black iron benches that we have, and they're going to be next to this painted container. And we recycle a lot at the shelter, as you know, so we have more tires. You know, Bev always paints tires. I turn them into planters. I mean, why not, right? So I have tires all along the trail that we've painted and planted flowers in. So we decided, I decided,
right?
It's a we, French we.
It's a we when she decides something. It's an I when she does the work. Just clarification, I also painted.
Correct.
Thank you.
That was a disaster, though. But anyway, yes, so we're going to paint 4 more tires, We're going to put them on the side of the brand new designed container, and we're going to plant, I believe, evergreens in it, so I don't have to plant flowers all the time. But we're going to get the plants that you can use in a cemetery that don't grow tall. So, you know, we'll get those miniature arborvitaes, we'll put those in the tires, have the tires painted, we'll have the 2 benches there. So we'll turn it into a nice little in-memory park. And it's great because the dogs walk in the woods, and so the trail's in the woods anyway.
Right.
And we've cleaned out a lot of the woods, but believe me, with this rain, it's hard to find the trail lately.
Right. We've had to do some repairs on the building outside, which has been a little bit difficult. And again, finances are always a hindrance there. So we try to do some of the stuff ourselves. And again, yay, we offered to pay for the supplies and everything, but because they have a grant, they were able to pay for the supplies for us. So that was really a great, a great deal for us and greatly appreciated. So I might be working again for the other side of the container that faces the dog play yards. We're looking at maybe at some program from BCC to work in the fall. Excuse me. So right. I think that'll work out. So doing a lot of different things at the shelter, as you can see, and we continue to make it look as presentable and nice as possible. So if you want to see it, come down and visit us. We're still by appointment only. And one of the things I want to discuss today a little bit, and I didn't mention it initially, it's we're going to have a sign out. We're going to have I think it's a sign on the door, but I think there's too many signs on the door. But it's about, if you've been to a doctor's office lately, or even times to a restaurant, where a lot of places are saying, please be kind to the staff. And at an animal shelter, we're going to put out that as well. I forgot the title that Ariana and I came up with, but and basically it's just telling people to please be respectful of each other, be respectful of the staff. Language that's inappropriate language should not be used at the shelter. You should not speak to the staff the way some people have been doing that. And so we are going to put that up. And for those of you that are not those people, thank you. And for those of you that may be those people, please consider the hard work that our staff does. And they don't make a lot of money working at the shelter, but they're a very dedicated staff. And just last month in June, we adopted 79 animals from that small shelter. That's incredible. Those numbers are unbelievable. And I was listening to Ari today on WSAR, and she was talking about the numbers that were in the shelter. But when she brought a good point out. She said that's how many animals are up for adoption right now. That doesn't necessarily mean all the animals that are still there that are on hold or are waiting for their owners to come in. Quarantines. I mean, there's a lot of different animals that are there.
Cruelty cases.
So she was saying like maybe about 60 cats and maybe about 24, 30 dogs. And that's just on a daily basis. And one of the things I know that I'll put a plead out, we have been asking people through Amazon or Chewy, they need non-clumping litter. They need all kinds of clumping litter at all possible. We do get a lot of donations, but as we all know, times have changed and people are having a hard time. I also want to put out information too, that people that donate on Amazon and on, I don't know about Chewy, but I do know on Amazon, we just couldn't keep up with the thank you, so we would do a blanket thank you on Facebook. And I think that kind of offended a few people. And so now I have my vice president, Susan, she's pretty savvy with the phone and stuff. They have a QR code on it. So now she's looking at the QR code and she's sending a thank you from the shelter to everyone. And again, it's the need for volunteers. Honestly, Bev and I, she does all the money that's online. She gives it to me, and I write all the thank yous online through emails. And some of them, unfortunately, when people are deceased, we have to look up the family name. I get all this information now, and I have to pass it on. I have a volunteer, Kristen, that also does all that work with our office manager. So, it's a lot of thank yous. And then I have one lady, Cindy, who's a high school friend of mine, who she does all the thank yous from the shelter. So if you go in and they ask you to put your name down and what you've donated, they give that to Cindy, and Cindy will send you a letter. And she does it. I give her all the cards and stuff, but she pays for postage herself. So it's complicated. It really is complicated.
So I want to just clarify one thing that you said about online. You said all the money that comes in online. So when people donate on our website, I believe that's what is online,
Right.
There's a site on our website that says donate now. It's a little button, and you hit that button, and that's where you can donate. And that is the money that comes into the shelter once a month. We use a program called Network for Good. It's a donation site. And we get all that money that comes once a month to a bank account that I registered. Now, in the past, I didn't even know how to find it. So I would say within a year and a half, maybe, I've been doing it. So let's say a 2-year period.
Okay.
So in the last 2 years, I've been able to access this site. No one ever taught me how to access it before. So I found out how to access this site, and I see the donations now. So I am able to print those, and I give them to Gail, and then Gail goes on the computer, and if you've left your email or your address, Gail's the one who will now send you either an email thank you or a letter thank you. And we've just recently learned how to do that. Now we've just recently learned how to follow the QR codes from Amazon donations. So when you think about it, Gail's doing thank yous, Kristen's doing thank yous, Cindy's doing thank yous, Susan's doing thank yous. And in between that, we have a few other people that get thank yous, like for instance, an estate. Gail writes a big letter for an estate donation, or somebody from a big corporation sends us a check. We write letters for that too. So we're always writing thank yous. We're very busy in the thank you department.
We are, and again, like I said, we had lost, not lost the information, but didn't know how to acknowledge people on Amazon. And Chewy,
no one
I don't
teaches
think,
us this stuff.
No, and I don't think Chewy, they sent us any information on that. So if you donate through Chewy, you may not get a thank you, but
we
try
do
to
appreciate it.
Oh, we do. We try to
really
do
do appreciate it.
Right. We try to do it on Facebook. So just to let you know that that's how it works. And again, it's all volunteers. When you're looking at Bev and I, we're volunteers. So
I mean, you don't get paid?
No, I don't get paid.
Oh my God.
I don't get paid. So, you got to see that if someone doesn't want to volunteer, or someone's on vacation or whatever. So that's an issue. And again, a show talking about nothing but everything,
No, it's crazy. It's like not one topic though.
Yes, let's
we didn't
move
come
on.
in and say, today we're talking about trees.
No, but we're going to talk
But that's around the corner, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Celebration of Giving, which is September 30th. We are changing it this year. We're going to have Big Lux, who is a contemporary violinist, and Ariana went and saw his show last night. I think it was in Fairhaven, and she sent us a video clip of it. He's a pretty interesting guy, kind of different venue. The venue is the same, but the food is going to be different. It's going to be at White's. Tickets are still $55, even though everything else has gone up. The cost for us on the meal, and we're not having meal, we're having stations this time. We're still keeping the price at $55, and if you're a member of Forever Paws, it's only $50. I mean, where can you go out nowadays and have a meal? You have to buy your own drinks and entertainment and participate in a silent auction for just $55. It's almost impossible. We are making a minuscule amount of money on our on the food, but you know what? We decided to keep the price the same. We've done it all the way through past COVID, and we're going to continue to do it this year as we hopefully can.
Well, if you recall, after we have a fundraising committee meetings every month.
Yes, we do.
Starting in January all the way through to, I think we take December off.
January, February.
So
usually.
we have about 11 fundraising committee meetings, and that's a lot of people. Maybe 20 people on the fundraising committee.
Right.
And we're trying to come up with ideas all the time. So we came up with this new idea. But during this fundraising committee meeting, people have, they give and take. They talk, they want to share, they want their ideas to be heard. So we come up with all these different ideas. And one of the things that we talk about is not to outprice our general public. So we have people that have been following us for a long time, and they like coming to our fundraisers. It's a social event. We try to make everything happy. And we don't want to outprice them. We don't want to lose these people that have been coming for years. So that's why we do really work hard to keep our prices down on any fundraising event. We would prefer to make the money through a silent auction where you can bid on things, or through the trees. That's where we would prefer to make the money. That way people that can pick and choose what they want to do.
Right. So if you're anybody out there is an owner of a business or know someone that is, we are looking for sponsors for that day. Mechanics Bank usually is our big corporate sponsor, and then we do ask for we also have a program booklet. Like if you know Jenny Pappas, she's from Right Choice. She's a
Real
realtor,
estate,
and
yep.
she is taking care of our program booklet, so you can put your name in there in memory of a pet or yourself or whatever. That helps us also sustain some money there, to get some more money there. And then we also, Ariana goes out after businesses, other businesses, to sponsor the event that day, and we have your name up on posters, and we let people know what's going on. So we try very hard, and you've heard me in the past, if you've seen the show at all, Bev and I like to stay small business. We just went to Viva Fall River, met with Christopher there, and they're going to sponsor a Christmas tree for us again this year. And him and his partner are going to donate a basket for us. And there was another artist there that said she was going to also donate something to us. So, again, keeping it local, keeping it simple, and we're very grateful for everyone out there. So if you have a business or whatever, just let us know. The number to call would be 508-678-0804. That's our landline, and that's our fundraising business number. So if you have to call us, give us a call at that number. Have any questions about it? And I guess we should push the plug in now for the Festival of Trees.
Well, the Festival of Trees, as we know, starts off the Christmas season, even though right now we're still in the warmer weather. But we have to be prepared. As you know, if you've been to our Festival of Trees, it's a lot of work. Organizing it, everything has to be specific. And that's because you have 100 trees, people are bidding on them. Some people are there to take the tree home, some people are not there. We have to call them. So we're constantly working that event. Also, we try to make it fun. So there's Christmas music playing. White's will offer us a concession stand. We have a bake sale going on. The restaurant in White's is open. We will also have items for sale, like shirts. We like to sell shirts now, that we were able to do that with the Attorney General's office, so we can sell our products. We will have cookbooks probably for the rest of our lives.
Probably.
For $10. And the cookbooks are wonderful. They have so many stories in them. That's what I love about the cookbooks. You have great recipes, but there's also great stories in the cookbooks.
Don't forget, we got that lightweight hoodie we just purchased with our name on it.
Right, we just did
really
that one.
cute.
It's a zipper-up hoodie,
Yep.
lightweight, great for the fall.
Yep.
And it says, "You've had me at woof."
Yep.
That was a cute one, too. So we have all these little items that we like to sell, and Ariana keeps getting us candles by the season.
Right.
So we'll probably just be finishing the summer scents and going into the fall scents, like pumpkin and cinnamon. Those would be the fall scents. So all those items are going to be for sale. So we have to plan that. We plan all the sales. We plan the concession stand. We plan for the bake sale, because that's always a huge event at the trees. People are always, that sells out most of the time.
I've already started, believe it or not, asking people.
You started that in July.
I started in July looking for people to donate a tree. And I will admit that some people this year have said that they're not ready to donate, that they can't do it this year, and I understand that. And I'm like, okay, you can't do it this year, I understand.
That happens.
Yeah, it does. And they said, well, call me next year, or, Gail, I can't do it. That's fine. Come that day, spend just $20 and get some tickets and do it. So we are looking for trees, sponsors for trees.
And use that number, 508-678-0804.
Yeah, use the number. And please also remember that the value of the tree is $100 or more. We don't give you the trees, so that everyone's trees are about the same height, and they're 4-foot trees. And you have to have them decorated before you come that day. Bev and I will distribute them, bring them to your home, wherever, your business, whatever. And
we also pick them up if you can't deliver them.
We do. I was just going to say that. We do
pick
pick
up. But I had to say something.
Know. We have a couple of volunteers that will also help us pick them up, which is very nice, and we appreciate that. And I think that's probably for the Festival of Trees, that's one of our biggest, if not the biggest event we have financially.
I believe financially it is the biggest event, and it ends the year. We have nothing else in December, and that's when I can go on vacation, finally, when all the fundraising is over. We don't have a fundraising committee meeting in December, and I can go on vacation. You probably can go on vacation too.
Yeah, usually we do have a meeting, and we have everybody.
Oh, we have a little Christmas party potluck.
Yeah, we do.
That's what we call the last one.
Right. And the other thing that I want people to understand too is that we have continued like everyone else in the animal world, it's been very difficult for vets. I know anyone out there that has animals is saying, I know it's very hard to get into a vet, and we understand that. And we're having the same issues too. So I'm just going to let you know that our Ariana, I sing her praises all the time, but I'm going to put a shout out for Ariana, our director, again. She actually has Bev and I driving all the way to Worcester Hospital. She got a connection with them, and they're giving us a deal on spay and neuters and some other medical things going on. But the first shot, Bev and I are doing at the beginning of this month in August. We're going to go out and do that. We're going for the entire day, so we have to be up there at the hospital by 8 o'clock. So we have to go into the shelter maybe around 6:30 and pick up the animals, which means a staff member is going to come in early to help us get everything loaded and make sure we have all the paperwork together. And then we're going to leave, and then we have to spend the entire day in Worcester. And then we're going to come back home when all the animals are ready to come back. Hopefully get back on time when the shelter's closed. No, that's not going to happen. I know that's only wishful thinking.
We'll have to have somebody come in and open up the shelter and put all the animals to bed.
Right.
For the day.
It's a big responsibility, but
we need that too because of the vets. There's no work.
Right.
We can't get in.
So thankfully the Amerals, Carol and Lynn Amaral, donated us a van a few years ago. We keep it in tip-top shape as best as we can. Bev's the only one allowed to gas it up. We gas it up every week. And I gas it, but she
wash it.
Yeah, we
pay for the insurance. Yeah, we take care of that van.
The van is in mint condition, and for especially being an animal shelter van, we've had a lot of good compliments about it, and we put that out too. And you know, another thing that Bev and I have been doing, talking about washing the van and all that, I just thought it made me remember, if you have a chance and you really want to have a good laugh, you can go on YouTube onto State Line Subaru, or even on our website. Do we have it on?
No, it's not on our website. It's on our Facebook.
It's on our Facebook.
It's June 9th, to be exact, was the day I posted it.
June 9th. Well, Bev and I did a whole show. They followed us around from State Line Subaru. They had a videographer follow us around and see what it's like in our life on a day of the shelter. And just in case you don't know that, I happen to be a Subaru lover and have had 6 Subarus, 2 in the family right now, and love State Line. They're really great, and they're really supportive of our animals. So that's a big deal, and they did this for us. I'm not even sure why they did it. I think they were just trying to promote the shelter for us, and we greatly appreciate Al and Mel who did that. That was fantastic. So you can see, Bev and I know how to have fun.
Oh,
we really know how to have a great time.
Yes. I just want you to know, I think we've done almost like a 28-minute show here. So we're going to be wrapping it up pretty soon. So we wanted to let everybody know about the trees, about our September event. And thank you, Ari, for letting us spend the day in Worcester.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's going to be another fun event. And we're going to be going to Worcester a couple of times.
Right.
This is put on by an organization out there that is using local hospitals that other shelters can go to.
Right, but Worcester's the closest to us.
Right, they're using like way out in Lowell and places like that. So yeah, we're going to be driving to Worcester a couple of times. That's going to be fun with animals in the back of the car getting their surgeries.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But, you know, again, we do it for the animals, we do it for the shelter, and I think that's what people have to understand. And, you know, again, the city of Fall River, the city of New Bedford, we've got the contracts again, and we continue to be appreciative of everyone and all that's going on. And even like here at BCC, you know, Fall River, what's Fall River Media? I can't remember the other acronym.
FRC Media.
Yeah, FRC
Fall
Media.
River Cable Media.
And we love working here. They've got us back in the studio again, so we're not as interesting without the animals, but that's okay.
I know we're going to be going off the air shortly, but just to remember, we're still on the ICOOC committee here at BCC
we are.
For the veterinary tech program. We might have to have Kristen come back on our show.
Well, thank you all very much for watching our show today. And again, we have some ideas.
A show about nothing.
A show about nothing, but I promise you in the future we will have a show about, we're going to have some guests coming on. So keep viewing us, and thank you very much for watching Straight from the Paws.